At La Salette, where Our Lady appeared in 1846 to two children, Melanie and Maximin, she gave a secret to Melanie in which she said, "The church will lose the faith, the Catholic faith, and become the seat of the Antichrist." And now, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've arrived at that point. Pope Francis appears to be not an authentic pope. St. Francis of Assisi predicted that in the end days, his order would be split up and there would rise a non-elected pope. God would permit a pope who's uncanonically elected, I should say, to rise on the throne of Peter, who would become the destroyer of the Catholic Church. And I believe this is the person, Francis. He does not appear to have the Catholic faith. And the very fact that he took the name Francis is incredible, because Francis seemed to predict this pope. Actually, Benedict XVI may not have validly resigned. There are some errors in the Latin used to resign, maybe intentionally by him. And a pope who resigns under extreme pressure, apparently, I read a year before he resigned that a cardinal who was visiting China said that some cardinals were planning to kill him. And so he obviously resigned under great pressure. And also another fact is that apparently at the 2005 conclave, the backers of Francis made an agreement with the backers of Benedict XVI that he would only rule, they would allow him to rule for like 3 years, and then he would have to resign and make way for Francis. This was revealed by one of the cardinals. So his election may be uncanonical by that very fact, that Benedict resigned under extreme pressure. And then there's the fact that Francis appears to be a Freemason, which automatically excommunicates him. But apparently that doesn't make him invalid according to canon law. But he was seen when he approached the balcony on the day of his election. He had his hand over his chest, indicating he was a Freemason. He was indicating to the world that he was one of them. Not only that, we have an earlier photograph of him when he was either a cardinal or bishop, with his hand inside of his soutane, or his cassock, which is a pose like Napoleon, indicating a member of Freemasonry. And then there's the Father Paul Kramer, who claims that in Benedict's, not Benedict, in Francis's formal document, Exhortatis Gaudium, that he teaches that the Jewish covenant was never abolished, that the Jews can be saved by their own covenant, which is totally false. That proposition has been condemned by 2 popes ex cathedra, meaning there can be no room for error. Therefore, Francis is formally teaching heresy, and Father Kramer believes that he has, by that very fact, become a manifest heretic, which makes him lose the power of the Pope instantly. Okay, and Pope Francis also teaches that God is not Catholic. This is insane. God created the Catholic faith. He is the God of Catholics. It's borders on blasphemy. The church, the Catholic Church, is the bride of Christ. When you attack God's bride, that makes you an enemy of the church. It's incredible. I don't think he has a Catholic bone in his body. And also, I have a picture of here showing Pope Francis. You can see it here. This is in a LifeSite News, which is a pro-life website, where the Pope is kissing the hand of a 93-year-old priest who is the leader of a movement to make homosexuality accepted by the Catholic Church. And the Pope is kissing his hand. What greater shock could this be? Does this mean the Pope is a homosexual himself? Probably. I don't have the proof, but he also wears a rainbow-colored, what would you call, bracelet around his wrist. A rainbow-colored bracelet. No, that's not all. He has lunch on a regular basis with Monsignor Battista Ricca, who he has appointed as the prelate representing the Pope in the Vatican Bank. And this Monsignor has been outed as a homosexual. He's been caught flagrantly carrying on with other people. I think this makes the Pope a homosexual. I can't prove it, but it looks that way. Anyway, he has lost his faith a long time ago. What else? He forbids Catholics to proselytize, meaning to try to convert somebody to the Catholic faith. He forbids it. Does that look like a believer in Jesus who says, "Go forth and teach all nations, making disciples of everyone in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Ghost"? Again, rejecting the teachings of the church that we are obliged to go and convert non-believers and those who are separated brethren, the Protestant denominations. Also, he's friends with all kinds of Protestant leaders because he's intending to put the church on an equal footing with all of the sects, Protestant sects, and even to make a world church, including the Jews, the Buddhists, the Muslims. He's guilty of the heresy of indifferentism, condemned by the church over and over again. And here you see the picture. This is from Catholic Family News. He has ordered the Catholic Church to bury this Protestant bishop as a Catholic bishop in the cemetery, in a Catholic cemetery. This is a disgrace. And actually, I think this bishop actually wanted to become a Catholic, and the Pope told him, no, you're doing better at what you're doing now. Stay where you are. That is scandalous, to say the least. So we have an anti-pope, that's all I can say. St. Francis's prophecy is coming true. So be prepared. Some of you may be scandalized by what I'm telling you about Francis, but he's showing his true colors. He's no Catholic Pope in the traditional sense. He even condemned, he heavily criticized his fellow bishops and cardinals for emphasizing too much teachings on abortion, focusing too much on abortion and homosexuality and gay marriage, and that they're not concerned enough for directing their energies to being true pastors. Well, it appears he doesn't know anything about being true pastor. So it's really scary. We are presently with no pope unless Benedict returns. But Benedict, like I said, has left an opening to come back as pope. He deliberately did some errors in Latin in his resignation letter to give himself an opening should he wish to come back. So there you are. This will be the first of several videos, hopefully, on Pope Francis. Pray that he leave the papacy. We don't need popes like him. We have to pray like never before. In the Blessed Catherine Emmerich even says there'll be a schism in the church, and there'll be a false church and a true church, and that only about 100 priests would remain faithful to the true church in the whole world. So you see the state the church is in. It's absolutely scary, and Francis will deliver the finishing blow to the church. You wait and see. This is my prediction. Let us all pray. Pray the rosary with all your heart. Fast. Try to save the church because Jesus needs your help. I can't emphasize that enough. So God bless you until the next time.